Hello, everybody. Today I have my guests, Birgitte Stjärne and Albert Bengston. I actually interviewed them previous time and we talked about who are entrepreneurs. Now I have some new questions to my guests, but before I start, I would like to say welcome to them. Welcome,
Thank
Albert.
you. Thanks.
Welcome,
Thank
Birgitte.
you.
Nice to see you
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
You too.
So my question is, we talked about last time who are these entrepreneurs? Now my question is, why corporations or public authorities that have larger organizations should care about entrepreneurs? So why? Let's start today from Albert.
I think that the entrepreneurs, first of all, entrepreneurs are as we posted in the last session as well. They are very loyal and they're very interested in actually helping these companies to become sustainable in a long for a very strategic and long time. And to do that, these companies need to bring in new technology and base their whole business on in the new paradigm that they are bringing in. So, seeing that, I think that having the entrepreneurs actually helping these companies to solve the complexity in doing exactly that. That is why you need the entrepreneurs. That's where they are definitely the best at their best, so to speak.
Brigitte, when we talked about last time also, because related to that question, you said entrepreneurs are problem seekers, but I already have a large corporation. I already have a nice business model. I customers. Why should I care about them? Why
Well,
I need entrepreneurs?
because the big companies, the incumbents, they have had a lot of things for them which have been very good for them. They've been like they have had a kind of a monopoly in knowledge and know-how. They have had huge resources within technology, and they have over the years they have very skilled staff, etc. But now with the globalization, with so many people getting connected through smartphones, knowledge and know-how is not just for a few any longer. It's something that could be shared by many, and that's why you have all these startups, entrepreneur started companies which are building their infrastructure on this new technology from the start, and they are creating severe competition for these big ones, the big companies. And you can reach customers through the social media today. 30 years ago, you have to have a lot of muscles, financial muscles, and also a lot of know-how about media and information to be able to reach out to customers. But today you can reach them in a much cheaper way. And all these things together becomes a huge threat to the incumbents, because if they don't find their way to do things more efficient but also smarter and with the new technology, they won't be able to compete. That's getting more and more visible now, because the whole world is connected in a way it hasn't been before.
Is it like that? Like before, if there was a larger corporation, maybe they had some financial competitive advantage or some type of resources, but because of the internet, it became cheaper. I'm just trying to see if I understood correctly, and so that it is not as easy as before to be that to keep on top because competitors can come and actually take over. So that's why you need. So is it related to that one? Like technology is becoming access to technology is becoming sort of commodity, but you need to have people that can run the companies, and because of that, entrepreneur is important.
Yeah.
Definitely see that, and the importance as well, the importance of actually bringing all kind of new technologies, because we don't see, it's not just social media, it's not just mobility, it's not just AI. We have all these new technologies, and they are working together, and you, when you combine them, interlace them into your company, there is a lot of gains that could be done, and you needed somebody who could actually take that abstract view, bringing it into a vision for the company, and get the people on board into that vision, and get it working. So it's all kind of new technologies, and every company on earth are gonna be affected by it.
Albert, did I understand correctly? So it relates to our previous program actually. When we talk about entrepreneurs, who are they? Now we are adding another dimension. These are the people that have interest to different technologies, different tools. So they don't focus on one typical knowledge or area. They want to gain more knowledge in different areas also, which means these are the people who can combine, connect, create mesh of different technologies, tools out there for the benefit of the organization. Did I understand correctly?
Exactly. The entrepreneur is generally a generalist, so to speak.
Generally, maybe they have specialty in one domain, but they know other domains too. A little bit.
When Birgitte and me, when we are discussing this, we see that the entrepreneur is saving a lot of know who instead of know how, because when you're gonna solve complex problems, you need to pick out the best people in that area and bring them together and do a workshop, rather than you have all the information in your head, and you're going to run and try to seek out the best solution. Because complicity or complex problems, it's when you mix and interlace those together with each other, that's when the magic really happens, and that could make a fit for that company. So definitely, they are generalists in that kind of a sense.
There is also, like, I didn't say generalist in the giving less value. Like they know some domain very good, but they are interested in other domains, so they can match. But it is also related to open innovation, because if you want to have more innovation, open innovation, then you need to have this type of people. So it looks like they are the catalyzers of open innovation process. But then I have related to that one. I want to go to Birgitte. Birgitte, it is again related to our previous program also, but I think it seems so entrepreneurs also should have time to do that, isn't it? Like,
Well, they take time to do that.
can you explain
Most,
it?
yeah, because most entrepreneurs, they have their job, ordinary job, and within that work, they face a lot of, they identify a lot of challenges, problems, challenges, and normally there are a lot of ongoing projects in the company, and they participate in different projects, and then something happens. They just see a possibility that if you take some ordinary, what we call a tactical project, project from the ongoing business, and you see some possibilities here. This should be investigated. There should be some research around it, and as Albert said, they start creating a vision around it. And of course, this takes time, and it's not always popular within the company. So that you use your time to future business rather than to current business. So there is a conflict in this, and we see, of course, that if a company develops a strategy for their entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurial teams, then they should, of course, give them time and space to develop. Because if they're just doing it on their spare time or trying to do it, as Albert said, like skunk works undercover, well, you don't get the most out of it, which you could do. But an entrepreneur always finds time to develop. It's in the person's personality.
And could I add into that as well? I think that is very important. As we said, the entrepreneur's network of people is very, very important. And that means it's the external network, knowing other entrepreneurs, new technology people, gurus, pioneers, whatever you want to call them. But it's also inwards into the company to understand what challenges we have at the floor in the ongoing business, and what do we really need to solve, and what challenges are we facing from within. So it's a mix. So the entrepreneur needs to invest a lot of time in knowing people outside of the company, but as equally inside of the company, and understanding the company's structure, and what is happening, and where the company is not strong enough, and what they need. So it's a lot of, and this is in a typical companies, this is looks like it's not very valuable, just getting to know people. But I think that is one of the things that the entrepreneur is the best spent investment for the entrepreneur, to actually to do that kind of activities. And that is something that is important for the companies to understand, to help them do that investment.
It is also, you just reminded me something else. Once we were discussing something to be done with another person, so I was working for a company, so they asked me, who am I? I said, I am actually nobody who in the decision making process, but I said, if you want this project to be done, you should do with me, because I know who is going to do that, and I'm going to do follow up, and I will follow the whole processes, even though I was nobody in the decision process. So maybe
no, you were the entrepreneur. You were the most important part of that project.
But from so can we say that these are the people inside the organization that are trying to see the whole life cycle of a project that will take responsibility?
Yes.
And actually, we need this type of people. They are not like project managers, isn't it? How they are different? Or what do you say, Birgitte?
Well, the thing is that we found that most entrepreneurs, they don't even know themselves that they are entrepreneurs. So that we have one challenge. And that is because they can see these typical traits in other people. They can see like creativity and challenging, etc. in other people. But they feel themselves that they are quite normal. But they also at the same time find that people around them don't always find them that normal. And this is a challenge as such. And that means that I really don't remember what should I ask? What should I answer? The question I should answer.
No
you
problem.
asked me something.
I
just got mixed up.
No, how they are different than project managers, but also you
gave
me very nice clue. You also gave me very nice knowledge, because you said that entrepreneurs usually don't know who they are. So my question to you, Birgitte, when you were doing your research, did you experience like this, that people said, oh, it is epiphany, now I understand, I am entrepreneur, but I didn't know until now? Well, is it?
Oh yeah,
can this
all
be the
the
case?
time. Yes, every time I have when I talk to people, if you have like 20 people in the room, there will always be a person coming to me and say, you have written a book about me, or you're just talking
Really?
about me. And I'm that kind of person. And what should I do with my life? That kind of questions all the time. It's about 10% of the people in the room that feel some sort of identification, and the rest, they are not feeling the same.
So you are
And
actually helping them to identify themselves. Imagine, but it is a painful, isn't it? Like you have been working in a corporation so many years, and so many years later, somebody comes, does a presentation, and they say, "Okay, she's talking about me. Now I know who I
But Albert
am."
can answer that.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
it's very it's yeah. When we started to speak, Birgitte and me, we my job has for the last 10 years been supporting these entrepreneurs in the companies, and they are very lonely in their companies because they are seen maybe not as troublemakers, but they are different, and they know that, and they are usually the management wants to keep them short, so to speak. I think it's also, and I would love to answer the question how they are different from project managers.
Yes.
So to do that, first of all, we need to divide problems or challenges or opportunities, whatever you want to call them, into two different parts. So we have tactical challenges. That is when something goes wrong in the ongoing business and the machine stops, right?
Yeah.
And then there is nobody at the floor that have the mandate to actually try to fix it. So then you call the corporate authorities, you escalate the problems, and it comes up there, and they sit on the 11th floor, right? And they sit there and they go like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, how should let's call McKinsey, and they call McKinsey, and they go, you need to press the orange button. Okay, we
Yes.
need to press the orange button. Let's
Not the blue
write.
one.
Yes, exactly. Let's write a manual how to do that, and we send it down there. And that route, taking the challenges there, is usually done by project managers. Yeah. So the product manager is knows all the time what to do. It's trying to collect everything that is around there, having tight follow ups and doing all that. It's a very controlling kind of way of trying to push the project forward all the time. So that are the tactical projects. Then Birgitte and me, we've been focusing a lot on the strategic projects, and the strategic projects do not start with something being necessarily stopped, or the machine doesn't broke down, because then you need a tactical project, because you need that machine to start working straight away. A strategic project is that machine will not be strong enough in 10 years from now, and that will not help to try to restart it all the time. It will simply not be working. So we need a new kind of machine. How do we do that? And you start by understanding the ongoing business, but you need to base the solution on new technology, the new paradigm that is out there. So maybe you say like, okay, we need an AI machine instead, and then you go and you find the guru on AIs, and you start having discussions, and then you find something. Hey, this could actually work. I have a problem. This machine will break down in 10 years from now. Let's start see here if we could get a project and
Let's
make
explore.
something.
Yeah.
Let's explore. And that is the phase, that is the stage, what Birgitte and me are calling cocooning. And that is the realm, that is the most important stage where the entrepreneur is doing their work. So what happens in the cocooning? Birgitte and me, we call that orbit and drill down. And orbit, it's for the entrepreneur to explore and understand the all the different complexity parts of this solution. So you orbit around it, around the problem. You try to get more ideas and more people, more input from everyone around you.
But it is like
And
previous time, isn't it like previous time you said this is like bees? Orbit
Yes,
around flowers, areas.
Yeah. And they run around, and this is of course for management very inefficient. It seems it looks like they are not doing something, but they are. They're working. They're trying to solve the complexity, and then they drill down. They go down and they try to nail something into the floor. As an example, like should we try to do a test with this platform? Yes, let's do it. Let's try to. And then they drill down, and then they go out in orbit again. So this is the work. And then when you drill down many times, and you can see the complexity that you try to solve the complexity and get it more into what we say is a more complicated problem. Mm-hmm. So complexity, the work is, as we describe it, to try to find as many good solutions as possible. And when that is done, you move it to the next stage, and that is where you need to really decide how you can do the best with what you have, and try to get that integrated into the ongoing business. So that stage, the cocooning stage, that is the most important, and that is nothing to compare that kind of work being done in that stage to what a project manager is doing.
Yes, because of that.
Project manager is trying to get it as fast into, while the exploring phase, the cocooning as we call it, is much more getting more and more external into this, so you get a bigger picture, a wider understanding.
Perfect. You actually you directly explain why companies need this type of people. Birgitte, yes. Do you want to add something to that one?
I think that was a very, very good description, really. And there are many project managers who are also entrepreneurs. And there are entrepreneurs who are not project managers, absolutely. The thing is that if you are a project manager and run projects with partly strategic issues included in the project, then you must have an understanding of how entrepreneurs work, because you will not be able to do it on your own. But you can have a very skilled project manager running a cross-functional group, as long as this person knows what's necessary for this group to flourish. So, but I do agree with Albert's description that it is two different words. When you talk about tactical projects and strategic projects, it's difficult. It's different words, and it's important to understand that differences, because the management must be different.
But also add to when management, if you have a very focused way of trying to understand more about entrepreneurship and how that is helping the company, and the company starts to invest in that entrepreneurship, as we can see some companies have done, you can see that that entrepreneur have help of a lot of project managers. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you could still, and side by side, they become very, very efficient. And as said, an entrepreneur needs a team, and in that team, of course, you need project managers that could help and straight out and make this work more efficient. Definitely.
Yeah, it looks like catalyzers. Thank you very much for today. Thank you very much for today, Albert. Thank you, Birgitte.
Thank you.
Looking forward to have you as a guest again, and then I would like to have another session with you about how corporations, what corporations should do to keep them, but also I would like to talk about your book in one of the future sessions. Thank you very much again. See you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.